Hi, everybody. Yes, Thursday. We are on Thursday. I want just to be Friday here. But my name is Juliet, and we are here for Cherry and Tech today. And as you see, the title says Take Control of Your Tech Experience with a Tech Squad. Um, we're just going to jump into this right away. But if you are in LinkedIn, YouTube, or you're joining us because ADP list, make sure that you drop your questions in the chat, in the comments. I will try to find your comments to make sure that we're answering all your questions. But let's bring Ali. Hey, how are you? Nice to have you here.
Good. How are you?
Super excited. We've been doing so much in February that I'm glad that this is our live last event before the tech squad, our next cohort starts. But what do we tell people? Who are we?
Yeah, I can kick us off with just a little bit of what is Cherry on Tech and who are we. I'll start with an intro of me. My name is Allie. Um, I am one of the co-founders and organizers of Cherry on Tech, and I joined Cherry on Tech 3 years ago when it was just its first tech squad. As I joined as a product manager, but I work full time as a DevOps engineer for an education technology company right now. And I've worked in tech for about 10 years, and I love getting together I'm still on the same tech squad I've been with for 3 years, and so I love meeting up with them every week and working on our project. Do you want to introduce yourself more,
Yes.
Juliet? Or everyone should know you already because you're always
Or I mean, like
out
every
here.
event. So my name is Juliet Fajardo, and if you see an H, it's a silent H. I'm originally from Colombia, but I've been living in Canada for the last 16 years. Outside of Cherry and Tech, I'm a senior product designer in the mental health insurance space here in Canada. And this is how we met with Ali back in 2020 with our first tech squad working together in projects. Now we have so many tech squads in our space that is super exciting. But okay, Ali, what is a Cherry and Tech and what is a tech squad?
Yeah, so like I said, when I joined Cherry on Tech, it was originally just a tech squad, and now, like Julia said, we are a community of tech squads. So that's how I describe Cherry on Tech. We basically have this idea that if you take PMs, designers, developers who are all kind of trying to gain experience, level up their career. If you put them together, have them work on a project, magic can happen. They support each other. They gain real experience working cross-functionally. That's like more valuable than anything individuals can do on their own. And yeah, we just saw how powerful that experience was for us in the first tech squad, and now we've just been bringing that idea to more and more people and matching people to their own tech squads. So we have our Cohort program, which is our 15-week program to get together a bunch of tech squads and kind of walk people who are more like new to their career in tech and looking for their first job and having that trouble of like, I need experience to get a job, to get experience. So trying to fill that gap, and we target people who are, ready to look for their first job or maybe going to be ready in a month or two and just need that extra, like, how do I put this all together on a team and build software? So that's what Cherry on Tech is, and that's what our Cohort program is all about.
Ali, I have a surprise for you. And this is out of the blue because I didn't tell you this. I have one more friend that we're bringing over to our live event. So I'm super excited. Woo, woo. So we're
Who is
welcome,
it?
Ritika.
Ritika's here.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm super excited because Ritika was part of our last cohort, our fall 2023. And she's going to share a lot of her experience and how taking control of your own tech experience can be part of in a tech squad. So Ritika, why don't we tell people who are you?
Yeah, sure, Juliet. So I'm Ritika, and I'm a UX designer currently at Acolyte Digital, but I just got a new job. But I was part of the Cherry on Tech last cohort, as Juliet said. And I feel like this experience has really translated directly into the job that I'm doing currently, working with different cross-functional teams and working with PMs, developers, etc. So it's been really valuable.
Love it. Okay. So, the first questions, did you do something before transitioning into the tech field? And how did you ended up choosing to be a UX designer?
Yeah, sure, Juliet. So I did my bachelor's in cognitive science and I just graduated this May 2023. And so I studied human computer interaction, which is directly related to UX, and also psychology. I was really interested in psychology. And I found UX to be bridging between the two. I also studied a little bit of AI as well. So I found a blend between like the tech aspect of it as well as psychology with uncovering people's pain points, which is what really got me interested in UX. And yeah, so I would say I just directly joined UX, nothing really before.
Nice, love it. And I feel like with a context with everybody that is seeing us, we do have in our on Cherry on Tech a lot of people that are swapping careers, new into tech, but we have some people that is like jumping right into tech, so that works too. And it's more about getting that hands-on experience in a cross-functional team. But question: can you share some of your major struggles of challenges that you have faced in transitioning into tech?
Oh, definitely. So for me, I am not coming from a typical computer science background per se, coming from a cognitive science background. So I had to find a way that connects me to what I studied to tech, just because it's not that direct computer science background. And I found a way to enter through UX. So I would say that has been a challenge, like finding where I can enter. And I found UX to be something that I could be interested in. And also, it directly relates to what I studied as well. So, yeah, hope
Love it.
that.
Yeah. What about the struggles as a UX designer? Like thinking, oh no, Ritika, where did you go? There you
I'm
go.
back.
You're back.
Oh,
Come
there she
back.
is.
Don't be
Back.
scared of our questions. I was going to say, if you have any struggles that you think about coming new as a UX designer.
Yeah, definitely. I would say just working in the different teams. So being able to collaborate with the PMs and then developers. And then, for example, one of the things as a UX designer that you have to learn is being able to properly hand off to the developers, which Cherry on Tech helps with. A little shout out. But so that's one of the challenges that you had to face, just working with different teams and just being able to communicate properly. And then even in design, when you're designing on Figma, being able to you just have that constant communication going, right? Like even in the real world, with the job, you're having daily sprints, or not daily sprints but regular the sprints that we're doing with the agile framework, which Cherry on Tech also teaches. So I found that to be really helpful. And yeah, that constant communication with the team members is
And I mean,
really.
it happens that when you go to school or when you learn by yourself, I mean, you're by yourself. Or when you go to school, and if you are working in a space with designers, you are just working with designers, and really you don't have that cross functional space. So I love that you're mentioning this, because honestly, this is what I love the most about working in a tech squad, is that you get to work with PMs, developers, even Sometimes we bring like marketing, sometimes we bring researchers. I feel like a tech squad could have like so many different type of roles, but I feel like for the cohort, we limited for PMs, designers, and developers. What inspired you to be part of our last cohort?
That is exactly the reason that inspired me to be part of the last cohort, because I was coming straight out of university and I had done projects on my own and I worked with different designers, like you said, Juliet. But I had, you know, that catch 22 that you were talking about, where you need the experience to get a job, but where will you get that experience? I mean, you can get the experience. Like, I reached out to different organizations and volunteered to do projects, like little, like maybe like an UX audit or like a heuristic evaluation and things like that. But and I've also worked with designers for doing projects. But that experience in working in a team, like you said, with the different PMs and developers, that is so valuable, because that's what you'll be doing in the real world with your job. So that's the reason. And I also wanted to get used to that agile framework, the idea of sprints, and just constantly iterating and checking in with the developers, and the whole the life cycle and the whole everything. So that's the reason.
Love it. And I mean, I know that we're just going to talk about Cherry and Tech a lot because that's we are part of Cherry and Tech, but we'll encourage absolutely everybody to create their own tech squad. That's how we started our own. There was no Cherry on Tech before us. So we created. But I feel like if you go to Slack channels or different tech communities and you say, is anyone down to create a passion project together so we can learn from each other, you can definitely do that. So go for it. You just, it will be great if we can be your friends, but if not, if that's okay. Okay. Can you share any specific challenges that you faced during the program?
During the program, I was actually blessed to be part of a team that we kept in constant communication with each other, and especially working with my fellow designer. Even though we were in different time zones, actually actually that was the challenge that we faced at the beginning. And actually, right now, I'm also working with an offshore team where we're facing that same challenge. What a coincidence! But so what we had to overcome that initially, and especially being a designer, Figma allows you to do that, because you can have that collaboration even offline. And what would happen is we would divide the tasks up for the week, and prioritize, and then we would divide it who can do what, and then we would design on Figma and then leave the annotations and everything, and then the other designer would come in and then make those changes and then update to the rest of the team. And yeah, that's how we fixed that. So I would say that was the challenge for us.
And I love that because then you mentioned it's like, oh, this is what is happening at work. So we do our best to try to bring like life on, like this is what happened at work, and this is some things that you will roadblocks that you will have at work, like working async, like working in different time zones, like communication styles. So we try our best to bring it all. Okay, if you can give me, oh, where I lost my questions here. If you can tell me and share a memorable moment or achievement that you have during your experience on the cohort.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that, Juliet. What was that?
Sorry, I'm going so fast.
Okay, it's okay.
Okay. Like if you can share a memorable moment or like a big achievement during the cohort.
Oh, sure, sure. For us, there were actually several, but I really enjoyed when we did our final presentation, when everything came together and we rehearsed as a team. We actually learned from our um, previous sprint presentation, and we knew what to change for the next one, and we made sure to rehearse and everything. So that was a great experience, just being able to see the culmination of all our work and come together in that presentation. And then also I really enjoy the aspect of the tech squad, just being able to have that community. I feel like that's the big part of Cherry on Tech, right? The tech squad. So even
Yes.
now, the meetups are still happening like every Monday, and try to make it to whichever one I can. But it's so nice being able to discuss those things, and then even things we're working on outside as well, bringing that in and being able to discuss that. For example, someone the other day, they were working with being able to go from the Figma file to the code. And I was like, oh, I'm also exploring that. And I was able to message in the Slack. And so that's really nice to be able to have that community.
I feel like Ali is like smiling from side to side because this is what a tech squad is all about. Even though that we are mentioning a lot of the cohort and the 13 weeks or 15 weeks, that period, the cohort overlaps all of that and goes into the future and is like, how can we explore the moment that we are right now, and we can exchange information about work, how you're working with the developers at work, how can improve the conversation, or simply say, hey, I just want to talk about life and how it's going and how you can like just listen to me. I feel like that's a good way of just working together. um in what ways did the Cherry and Tech cohort program support you for your personal and professional growth?
Yeah, definitely, Juliet. So definitely, of course, the professional growth aspect for sure. I would say whatever I learned here has directly translated to my job, and it's like a kind of like a career bridging, or like when you're first starting, just being able to bridge into your first job. I think that's great for that. And then for personal, yeah, of course, being able to collaborate with many different people, and the cross-functional team, just that's also helps with the personal growth as well, like, so.
Yeah, and I feel again because uh we got the chance, like Ali and me, to see all of the participants from day even before day one and from the end, and see where all of you are. You can see like honestly like how confident you are about yourself and how I feel like that's one of the biggest ones, and how you believe in that you can do it and your skills. I feel like that's so powerful. Regardless of having a project or not, I feel like just that personal growth is amazing. Mm, okay. How did you navigate and overcome obstacles and setbacks during the program? I know that
um
you mentioned already like time difference, but how did you ended up resolving these roadblock?
sure. I'll go back to the time difference again, but just I learned how to communicate better with my team, and we uh, we had to, of course, like take initiative and make sure that our meeting times work with everyone, and then being able to work like asynchronously. Sometimes I suggested maybe recording the meeting so that someone, they can watch it afterwards and still be up to date on what's happening. And just sometimes we did like polls and things to make sure if someone is not able to make it to the meeting, but we still want them included in the decisions. And for example, if we make let's say homepage one, homepage two, then we did a poll on that to see what they prefer, and things like that. Yeah, we made it work.
I love that because all of this experience is something that you can use in interviews and skills that you develop. And something that we try to encourage all the participants is make sure that you're writing all of this, like everything that you have done. Write it down. You will think that, oh, I will remember all of this, but no, you won't remember any of this. So to have a work diary when you have all these accomplishments and roadblocks and how you move around is going to be so powerful for interviews. So that's my next question. Like, what happened after the cohort finished, and where are you today?
Yeah, sure, Juliet. So after the cohort ended, of course, even during the cohort, I was looking for a job. But after the cohort ended, I seriously just worked on getting that first job, and I worked on interview prep and things like that. And the experience in the cohort, of course, came in handy. And I had the case study from there, and then I have oh yeah, so by the end of this, you have a case study. So that's really great to have when you're doing interviews, real world experience. So that really helped, and yeah, just being able to talk about your experience, and that helped in interviews as well. So yeah, after that, I got the job, but yeah.
That's so exciting, and we are so happy that uh, it's tangible for a lot of people, and this experience is useful. Again, yes, I love that you have a case study and that you have like hands-on experience, but most of it is developing those skills and developing in a with a tech squad and people around. I think that's just so powerful. Ritika, thank you so much for this. Thank you for being our secret guest speaker and sharing your experience with everybody. So, Ritika, see you around. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Oh my goodness, what do you think about that, Ali?
It's awesome. Yeah, because I feel like when we were on our squad before we started the cohort, it was like those are the exact kinds of experiences that we had, and the kinds of like challenges and things we overcame and things we learned, and just yeah, all of it, and then all of it leading to jobs and other opportunities. And yeah, so it's great to see that like other people are having the same kind of experience working with the squad, because that's why we designed the program and why we kind of are building Charion Tech into this community of squads. So it's always great to hear that is what somebody's experienced by working with their squad. I love it.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to share something. Hold on, let me share my screen. I forgot to do this in advance because we've been doing so much last February that I want to tell people what we've been doing. And because we've been having so many events, it's like you can go back and watch them. Where is my screen? Okay, here. Perfect. Okay, this one. Ali, you can talk about our newsletter.
Yes, we finally started up a newsletter that we're going to be doing pretty frequently on a regular schedule, but we really just wanted a way to, just a longer form way to share what's going on. There's so many cool things happening, so we're just taking a minute to write it down. So we've had 2 newsletters, and we announced our registration, which was open for participants to sign up for the spring 2024 cohort. And now we officially closed it yesterday early because we got too many applicants.
We got 100 almost 120 applicants.
So we closed the applications, and we have also we also posted a newsletter about the mentorship opportunities through Charion Tech, which I think are also closed.
Almost closed. We're still looking. Yes, okay. We still might be looking. And I feel like this is something that we forgot to mention, but let me just go through the events, and then we can deep a little more into the type of mentorships that we have and how they get involved during the cohort.
So if you're interested to just kind of see what Charion Tech's up to, sign up for our newsletter on LinkedIn or on our email list, just on our website, and just see just kind of what's going on. And it's also a good way to get notified of like the next cohort or other opportunities that come up.
And something that we did a little more organic for our last cohort is the job readiness space, is where we bring people who has been on the field for a while. We have Julenda here. She talked about like how to go from search to a job to interview from the developer standpoint of view. But honestly, she gave us so many good tricks and tips for absolutely anyone in any field. So you can go to our YouTube channel, our LinkedIn, and watch them. The other one that we have, it was participants sharing their experience in in the tech squad, as a product manager, as a developer. We have those there if you wanted to know more. Here you see me again. This time it was a UX designer making the most of the today's job market. And I brought my boss. I work for Green Chill, so she was telling everything from the point of view as a hiring manager, as a UX designer. Again, a lot of tips, developers, PM, any that you can use. We have another roundtable for participants. Yesterday, this was a spicy one. It was just so good. I have UN, that is our VP of product from Green Chill, and we have Gabs, that is a product coach, but she's our consultant in the product. How you call that?
Curriculum.
Curriculum. Yes, I always forget this word, but now we have a lot of people overseeing or helping us and giving us feedback in our curriculum. We want to make sure that it reflects what is needed for today's job market, and we are dipping into all the skills and hard skills that you need to know going in. I feel like this is, you're watching this. So, and this is the last one. But why don't we talk a little more about mentors and how are they part of the squad?
Yeah, so what we do for the cohort program, because the cohort program is targeting, like we said, people who are, maybe just about ready or are starting to look for their first job in tech. But the tech squad idea isn't limited to people in that position. Like our tech squad started and we had a lot of mixed levels and people with different experience levels. But for these squads with people who are all kind of coming in new, before we started this, we did research and found like mentorship was one of the biggest things that people felt like would help them. And so we emphasized like getting mentors into the cohort program, and we try to make it as like personal and useful as possible. So what we do is each squad in the cohort gets a mentor, for a PM mentor, a design mentor, and a dev mentor for one squad. So that means if you're a designer, you have 2 designers on a squad. So that means you have a lot of access to a mentor. It's just you're a mentor for you and your other designer, and they're with you for the whole 15 weeks. They're available for you to talk to on Slack, one-on-ones. And our mentors are like all volunteers and people with, just working professionals. So they all just genuinely want to share their experience and help people new to the field. So it's just like, it's giving you that perspective of like, you're doing a project, working with other roles, building like a live website. Like that's a very real experience and it's your first time. So having a mentor there to kind of reach out to and give you feedback on how you're doing just gives you that like, I think that helps develop your confidence and just know that you're on the right track when you're doing things. So anything else about the mentoring program you want to add?
I feel like that's our fairy mentors. We always have like cute names for absolutely everything. What about cherry mentors?
Yes.
What do cherry mentors do?
So we also have cherry mentors, one for each squad, and the cherry mentors are really like a go-to person on your squad for everything related to the program, to Cherry on Tech, to tech squads. It's someone you can reach out to for questions like, I don't understand what we're doing this week, or just, if they're going to be there to help keep your squad on track for just the schedule of the program. And they're going to be somebody that's been on a tech squad before. So that's like, someone you can talk to about how their experience was.
And I love it because, again, we're trying to bring as many help and as much mentorship as we can bring in different aspects. And what is cool about this is we want to make sure that when people goes into their jobs, into their real thing, they feel confident and they feel like they have the tools for this. And something that I talk a lot about is failing and making mistakes and having roadblocks. And we love for people to have them, or our participants to have them during their tech squad or during the cohort, because we're going to have so much support around that is going to be such a big learning piece at the end of the day.
Yeah, I always tell people that what success looks like at the end of the cohort isn't having like the most amazing, most features on your website. It's just how much did you learn with your squad. Like that's the point of the experience, not like the end product. But we just stress to everybody that like the reason that we do projects, and we kind of consider it like we're tech squads are project based, but they're like support oriented. It's like we do the projects because we found that it's the most valuable way that we can support each other, helping give each other that very real experience that you'd have in a job. Like if I'm a PM putting my time into this project with Juliet as the designer, like we're both helping each other level up our skills and have experience we can talk about in interviews. And we're all just volunteering our time to do that to help each other.
Yeah, I feel like something that, again, if you go back to the people or the series that we were doing about job readiness, everybody was mentioning is like, what else are you doing and how you are taking, again, control of your tech experience, and not just is like, oh, I don't have a job, so I cannot work with people. No, I feel like, again, go and connect with people, bring together that interest of like growing as a person and professionally working something that you're passionate about. Again, for us, it was Cherry on Tech is our passion and empowering others, and that's how we build in our tech squad in different projects. But it could be absolutely anything. And I'm going to kind of go away from our questions, and I'm going to ask you, mostly thinking about our tech squad. Like, what do you think has been the most powerful skill that you have, that you got from working in a tech squad?
I don't know about a skill. The first thing that comes to mind is like more of like a perspective. Like I feel like just being able to talk to other like people who are underrepresented genders in tech. I feel like that just gave me so much perspective, because I have worked in workplaces where I was the only woman or the only not cis male. And it's just, I don't know, just such a different environment to be with Cherry on Tech, which we are a community of just underrepresented genders. And I feel like I never had an environment like that before to just kind of get to learn and share. And yeah, hearing other people's experiences who are similar to me, I feel like just gave me so much perspective and like more confidence in in myself and my skills.
I feel like that's something that we haven't mentioned a lot today. So Cherry on Tech is a community for underrepresented genders in tech, women, non-binary, and trans folks. And we keep this community really just for underrepresented genders, because it's just so hard to find this in the real world. And is for us to be in a space where we can be vulnerable, where we can be ourselves. And it's been so powerful for so many of us. And for me, especially, again, coming in to as a UX designer that needs to work with developers and PMs, I will say that is one of the biggest helps back in 2020 to land my first role, is because I felt confident. I felt like I can do it. I got so much help from the tech squad, not just into building the project, but into how to speak with others, how to speak about my experience. That's been like such an amazing space for me, and I will say for everybody in the tech squad.
Yeah, we've seen lots of people in our squads get jobs, and people out of the cohorts land their first jobs and switch jobs. And I got my job by knowing somebody in my squad. So it's always like, it's part of having a network and a community. And I feel like there are a lot of communities out there, but it can be really hard to feel like you fit into any of them, maybe. So I feel like we're trying to be a home for a very specific kind of community for people who are interested in being part of a tech squad and gaining this kind of experience and supporting each other in this kind of way.
I was going to say, oh my goodness, I forgot what I was going to say. For mentors, we're still looking for mentors. And I feel like we're looking for PMs mentors.
Mm.
But about mentors is you don't need to have like 10 years of experience and within some multiple like spaces and environments. I feel like if you are in a space when you want to grow personally and when you want to move into like maybe more like a senior level, I feel like mentorship is going to be like a great space for this, because you're going to be working with your mentees or cherries. That's how we call participants. See, just cute names everywhere. um, you're going to be working with your mentees from beginning to end. So it's going to be a lot of feedback, a lot of like planning and developing your mentees into growing into something bigger. So make sure just find us on LinkedIn. Maybe I can find the link in a second, but volunteer with us. We're still looking. And if we are ready for this cohort, again, follow us in LinkedIn, on YouTube, in our newsletter, so you keep updated into the latest news. I feel like, I don't know, what else can we talk about, Ali? We don't have any questions coming in, so I feel like everybody's quiet. I feel like I see people in YouTube, I see people in LinkedIn. Do you have any questions about tech squads or no?
Yeah, do you want to share the link to the mentor application or to the
Yes.
the website to that? And yeah, I feel like one of the things I like about how the mentorship is organized is that, like Juliet's saying, it's not like it's, even if you have just a year of experience, like so much of the mentoring in this program, because you're working with people who haven't worked professionally or mentoring people who haven't worked professionally, is just sharing your experience is so incredibly valuable for someone to hear who hasn't worked in that role professionally. It's just like makes, helps them apply. You're really helping somebody understand how like what they're doing in the program is like is applicable in the job, because we're just telling them it will be, but you're like, as a mentor, you're another source of like, no, I am a designer, I've been a designer, and this is exactly what we're doing at work. So I think it really like helps the participants really see how what they're doing is like just exactly like what they would be doing in their real job, and helps them know that they can feel confident when they're talking about it in interviews, like, this is what people are expecting me to do. I have this experience. I see we have some questions.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I was going to say that something else that you get as a mentor, you're going to meet other professionals in the field, and you get to come to our global meetings. So we have global meetings every Sunday. And sadly, those are just for people during the cohort, but you as a mentor will get to see and meet people and be in workshops. So that's pretty cool. But we have some questions. I met Ria today and I said, come and watch us today. But I think this is a good question. So what is cherry on what is cherry on tech called? No, what is cherry? Yeah, what is cherry on tech called cherry on tech?
Yeah.
And this is a good question. I feel like this was us sitting down and he's like, what do we have in common? And I think we are like, oh, we like sweet stuff, we like fun stuff, we like cute stuff. And he's like, we want to be as professionals and as people in the field, that last thing that is like, wow, it couldn't be better. So it was cherry on top, but now we put the tech. So we are just that cherry on tech. So I think it just came from being fun, fruity, sweet. And again, if you see all the names that you put around here, they're all like super cute. I have another question from okay, hold on, let me hide this one and bring out. I'm going to give this one to you so you can break hearts.
Oh no.
Hi there. This is from Esmeralda on YouTube. Hi, Esmeralda. Hi there. What are the chances of being taken off the waiting list? I would love to be the opportunity to join the cohort.
Yes, we unfortunately are limited in our capacity, just purely because we do want to be able to offer the mentorship and the support. And so ideally we could just have as many tech squads as people apply, but then we wouldn't be able to give give the attention and support that we think the tech squads really should get to have a really good experience. So we do have another cohort. I do encourage people to at least subscribe to our email list, though, because if in like maybe not the cohort, but we have squads outside of the cohort, if people like are no longer with their squad, or maybe a squad wants another member, we like to just kind of like do an email blast of like, hey, we're looking for another dev to join a tech squad. So just being on that list will let you know about those opportunities. And if if none of those work out, then the next cohort will be coming up in the fall. But we appreciate that you're interested, and yeah, we definitely do have opportunities on tech squads outside the cohort that pop up throughout the year, just kind of randomly whenever. So yeah, just have a way to get notified about that. We usually will send something out, and maybe an opportunity will come up for you.
Yes, I feel like, Esmeralda, if you're already applied and you are on that waiting list, that's a great opportunity to be on the first to know for our next squad for sure. We are giving priority for people who apply and didn't make it to the cohort to apply next time, and we give priority to those people. But again, at the same time, we have so many opportunities where we are working in projects and we need either designers, developers, PMs coming in and join a project that is going on. So for example, this is something that is happening for the Cherry Squad. Again, we have just cute name for the squads. Last time we have a lot of fruits going on. I feel like the names for our next squads are like planets. Anyway, I'm going out of the topic, but the Cherry Squad, we're working in a project and we needed a designer. So coming in and be able to work in a different space with different people, that is going to be really powerful. So stay tuned. I feel like don't lose hope.
If you're if you're on our list, you're going to have the first shot at either priority to apply to the next cohort or to fill a role that opens up. Otherwise, like if we don't find anybody within the like community that we have or the subscribers that we have, then we start to reach out to the public, like on public Slack channels and stuff. So yeah, the more people we have kind of to reach out to directly, the better.
Yeah, I feel this is it. We're so excited for what is coming. Thank you for joining us. I hope that these encourage all of you that are watching us, even if it's not with us, with Cherry on Tech, to be part of a tech squad. You can go and share with people that you want to work in a team, in a project, and that's something that you can work. This is how we started it, and this is where we are after 3 years, almost 4 years is going, 4 years in July. That is, unbelievable how the time goes fast, but make sure that you put the word out and get connected with people that have the same interests of you, and you can work in a tech squad.
Yeah, and if you're like, I'm a designer and I have a dev and a PM and we all want to work together on a project, but we just don't know where to start, just send us an email and I'm sure we'd love to help your budding tech squad out, regardless of being in the cohort or not. So, like Juliet said, you can make it happen. We're just here to try to help people make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of the role we're playing, is just matchmaking for the squads and supporting them. So if you already got your squad together, let us know.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. And something that I forgot to mention, and this is kind of a surprise that we have for our next cohort, and we didn't have it in the other cohorts, that is the job readiness. So the job readiness space is going to be happening after the cohort. So after people finish the 15 weeks working in a project, one of the topics that everybody's talking about and wants to know more is like, how do I get ready to find a job and go into the job market? So we have a lot of friends and a lot of volunteers helping us this time for the after program, just talking about job readiness. So into like interviews, trying to be better at those, storytelling, whiteboarding, resumes. Like we have so much going on. I'm super excited about this because we have so many friends and consultants helping us in this. So I'm pumped. I think I'm pumped for me to learn more. Anyway, thank you everybody. Have a great day. Don't forget to follow us in LinkedIn and YouTube and the newsletter so you know the latest news. Thank you everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.